The largest Middle Eastern airline, Emirates, is known to connect passengers through its Dubai International Airport hub. However, a number of flights can be booked with Emirates that neither depart from or arrive at DXB. Known in the aviation world as Fifth Freedom flights, these are services between two countries other than the airline's home nation. Such flights are often permitted only as long as the originating or eventual terminating airport is at home. Such flights allow travellers to experience the hospitality of a faraway airline they wouldn't otherwise have a chance to try, or set foot aboard an aircraft type not common in the region. And sometimes it means a full-service airline experience rather than short-haul levels of service. And so, with this background out of the way, let's examine Emirates' current list of Fifth Freedom flights. At the time of making this video, Emirates has a total of 15 Fifth Freedom routes. As hinted at earlier, all of these flights originate in and eventually return to Dubai International. So, let's begin in the Asia-Pacific region. Emirates' Sydney, Australia, Christchurch, New Zealand service is operated by the Airbus A380. It competes against Qantas's twice-daily operation using Boeing 737-800s and Air New Zealand's daily service with the Airbus A320neo. The airline's Singapore-Melbourne service uses the Boeing 777-300ER and competes with Qantas's A330-200s and -300s, as well as Singapore Airlines A350-900s and 777-300ERs. Sadly, for anyone who enjoys this route or wanted to try it in the future, Singapore-Melbourne will end on Sunday, March 30th, 2025. One of the more impressive and yet equally tragic facts about this service is that Emirates has been operating it for nearly 30 years. Another service from Singapore takes travellers to Phnom Penh in Cambodia with the 777-300ER. It's a relatively new service from Emirates, only having been launched in May 2024. Singapore Airlines also flies this route with either the 737 MAX 8 or A350-900. Between Bangkok, Thailand and the Chinese Special Administrative Region of Hong Kong, Emirates operates the A380. Cathay Pacific and Thai Airways each offer numerous services daily with types such as the A350, 777, A330 and A320 family. When it comes to the other airlines and their modern aircraft, it could potentially be a tough choice. Well, unless you're a fan of the A380. Moving west, Emirates has a 777-300ER service between the Maldivian capital of Male and the capital of Sri Lanka, Colombo. Sri Lankan Airlines operates the A330 and A320 on this route, while Maldivian Airlines uses the A320. Over in Africa, flights between Accra in Ghana and Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire use the 777-300ER. Air Côte d'Ivoire uses a de Havilland Canada-8400, while South African Airways flights use the Airbus A330. Staying in West Africa, Emirates has a one-directional Fifth Freedom service going from Conakry to Dakar with the 777-300ER. Transair Senegal is on this route with either an Embraer E145 or Boeing 737-500. Air Senegal uses either the A319 or A320. Between Harare, Zimbabwe and Lusaka, Zambia, Emirates also uses the 777-300ER. Ethiopian Airlines competes most often with the -8400, but uses its 777 and A350 widebodies on occasion as well. Middle East rival Qatar Airways can also be found on this route using its Boeing 787-8s. The final African route connects Seychelles with Antananarivo, Madagascar, with the 777-300ER. Someone correct us if we're wrong, but it appears that Emirates is the only airline serving this route. Up in Europe, Emirates' 777-300ERs connect Larnaca in Cyprus and Malta in the Mediterranean. Again, it seems like Emirates is the only airline offering this route. Going transatlantic from Europe, Emirates operates the 777-300ER between Athens and Newark. It's actually Athens-only transatlantic service, meaning that Emirates has zero competition on this route. Emirates operates the Airbus A380 Super Jumbo between Milan Malpensa and New York JFK. The carrier celebrated its 10th anniversary of operating the route back in 2023. With this airport pair, the Dubai carrier competes with Delta and its 767-300s and -400s, as well as the occasional 787-9 flight from leisure-focused carrier Neos. Between Barcelona and Mexico City, Emirates operates the Boeing 777-200LR. Looking at Flight Radar 24 data, it appears that the airline is alone in operating this route. In an official press release announcing the post-pandemic resumption of the route, Emirates also noted that the service helps to provide, quote, additional connectivity to global markets for Mexican exports such as avocados, berries, mangoes, automotive parts, and medical supplies. One of Emirates' newer Fifth Freedom offerings is Miami-Bogotá, using the Boeing 777-300ER. Avianca and LATAM both compete on this route with their Airbus A320s, while American Airlines uses the 737 MAX 8. Considering the competition here, it would seem that Emirates' service is the most attractive option. And finally, our last Fifth Freedom service operated by Emirates is between Rio de Janeiro, Brazil and Buenos Aires, Argentina, with the Boeing 777-300ER. This appears to be a fairly competitive route as British Airways also operates it with its Airbus A350-1000s. Aerolíneas Argentinas uses its Airbus A330s, while Fly Bondi uses either the 737-800 or A320. Brazil's Gol Linhas Aéreas uses its 737-800s and MAX 8s here as well. Budget airline JetSmart can also be found on the route using its Airbus A320s. So that's our long list of Emirates Fifth Freedom services. The carrier has in the past operated other Fifth Freedom flights but later cut them. Such routes include a one-way Malta to Tripoli service, as well as daily Melbourne-Auckland and Brisbane-Auckland service. According to the website Australian Aviation, the cut in Trans-Tasman service in 2018 was done in favour of more Qantas-operated flights as part of the pair's global alliance. Kuala Lumpur-Melbourne was also offered once upon a time, as was Singapore-Brisbane. The airline also offered Singapore-Penang service, but the route had to be cut before it even launched. Set to launch in 2020, this failure to launch was obviously due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We're sure there are other Fifth Freedom routes that were once offered by Emirates, but that's just a small sampling. Emirates, as well as other airlines operating such services, do so in order to serve more markets and fill more seats on aircraft. The other significant benefit is increased aircraft utilization and the ability to offer better, more competitive timings for flights. So, rather than being parked for several hours at an outstation airport or departing back to home base at an inconvenient time, carriers can instead fly passengers elsewhere and continue to generate revenue. Aircraft are then able to return to that particular airport later at a more convenient time before returning to the home airport. Which of these Emirates Fifth Freedom flights have you been on? How many did you even know about? Share your experiences with us by leaving a comment. Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.